Hello friends, welcome to the Learning Hub. Today we are going to discuss about the environmental issues and concerns. So this is a digital lesson plan for social studies geography of standard 8 standard. This has been presented for the B.Ed program in which we will be getting the information about the technological uses in modern day education. So here, as you can see, it deals with the future of the next generation, in which we are presenting an ICT based curriculum. So, how does the past influence the future? Is the first example. That is, if we are going to present something for the future, it depends upon how our present and the past used to be. So we have to look upon the present, and still we also have to view the past that brings us to the future of tomorrow. So when we talk about the past difficulties or the past life of the people, there was no mobile, TV, radio, telephone, computers, laptops, and so on, and many gadgets that we used in day to day life today. Again, today we enjoy TikTok, WhatsApp, Facebook, and so on, all the social networking which was not available in the past. And the best example could be that how you are getting educated through the use of YouTube, Facebook, or Twitters or TikToks. Then today we go to the restaurants, water parks, and resorts to enjoy and have delicious food. But before, there were no pizzas, Mexican food, Italian food that were across the borders of the countries that we are enjoying today, of different countries' food menus that were not available in the past. Today we have better and fast transport facilities such as cars, scooter, bikes, bullet trains, metro, aeroplane, etc. But in the past, we used to travel by trams, uh, by horse cart, bullock carts, and so on. Today we have sports academy, dance academy, acting schools, and so many of such extracurricular activities that our students get engaged to. But in the past, they simply used to play outside with their friends and so on. So, looking at the past, present, and future, and the environment that we are living today, we can see how the environment has changed. For example, we have looked upon how the food has changed to the fast food and junk food. Before, we used to have household food, that is food made only in the house. We used to just enjoy that. Nowadays we have fast food, junk food, and so many restaurants and hotels and motels opened for us. Then if we look upon the transport facilities, as we have looked right now, we can see we have cars today, and it was not present in the past. We have mobile phones, but these also leads to us that we can see how the cars and the other gadgets are polluting the environment, like water pollution, noise, crowded cities, hot summers, less rainfall, and air pollution. So these are some of the basic changes that are actually seen in the environment. So again, if we see that in the past we knew nothing about the universe, the people thought that the earth was a square. There were no wars, as now we can see people fighting for land and prestige. Before, people were simple and loved to meet each other. They used to have so many guests, but now we don't always go to anyone's house. We get permission for visiting. Before, the environment was clean, but now it is polluted. Cities are crowded and no place to play. So these are some of the facts, basic facts, that if a teacher asks a students in the classroom to summarize or sum up some few past activities. So these will be actually given and stated by the students themselves, because nowadays students learn through digitalization, through globalization, modernization, that how people used to live in the past and what is the difference between the past and the future and the present. So, how does the past influence the future? So, some will say that we can see that how factories have taken up the scale and cottage industries, small scale industries, handmade goods has been furnished and remade by factories. We can also see how the climate has changed, that before it used to be a little bit of summer and a little bit of winters, but here we can see the drastic changes in the temperature of the countries of the world. We can also see how today there are so many inventions going on and drastically increasing use of technological inventions that we are today going through. We can also see how the cities are crowded, because nowadays we don't have places to purchase. As we can see all around us, only houses and cities and locales and all. So this is also one of the basic influences that we can see in the present. Again, we can see there are so many wars going on, as we have witnessed nowadays. We can see the wars taking place between countries. Again, vehicles for transportations and all. So these are actually how the past has influenced the future. Now, if you look at this picture, what is it about? So this picture is actually, if you can see, it's about an ocean in which we can see a small part of the iceberg and a polar bear sitting on the top of it. We can see many plastic bottles and caps and things like that floating on the top of it, on the top of the surface of the water. So, do you think that it has something to do with the environment? The answer I know will be yes, because when we look around, we can see that it pollutes the water, leading to serious problems and even death of aquatic animals. What is it actually? It is actually the vast consumption of plastics and the throwing of the garbage that we are doing on an increasing level today in the world. That is leading to the environmental changes in the world. This is what we will study today. This is the actual point of study. And what is it? It is the implementing environmental law. Why do you want to implement the environmental law? So, what basically is the formula here is, if we see people throwing garbage, not listening to the rules, and not going through the areas and not even witnessing what kind of danger and what kind of pollutions we are trying to cause to the environment. So here, for just stopping people to, making the environment such a place that we don't even have, fresh air to breathe. So here we need to implement certain environmental laws. Why do you think that there is a need to implement such environmental laws? Because we need to save the future of the earth. If you want to live on this earth, then we have to take care of it too, isn't it? So why there is a need to save the world, if we see? So let's go and have a class activity. If we go out in the sun and enjoy the sunlight, how many of you can explore the environment and briefly give some of the observations about the climate, weather, humidity, and how different kinds of pollutants you witness? Such an outdoor activity of your class will enable you to understand and acquire the knowledge about the environmental problems and the solutions that you can deal up with. So this is a very important activity that can be taken up by all the classes and all the ages. So if you take up the activity, what will you observe in the class activity? Let's have a quick discussion. Some of the students will be trying to impart that it is hot outside, air is smoky because of vehicles, so much of noise outside, there is traffic on the roads, the city is crowded, there are so many people living on the roads, and we cannot find birds in the sky as before. So these all can be the activities, the observations and the discussions that can taken up in the class when you actually do the activity. So now I guess you know what is the weather around. It can be cold, hot, warm or cool, isn't it? And the climate refers to one kind of weather condition over a period of 35 years. What does that mean? It means when you go outside, you feel hot or warm or cool. That is the weather of that particular area. But if you want to know about the climate of the particular area, then it is actually the condition of the weather of that particular place around a period of 35 years, which will be usualized or which will be clearly stated as the climate of that particular city or place. But due to many reasons, the temperature of the world is increasing, which leads to the increase in the temperatures globally. This increase in temperature is known as global warming. So now you will be understanding the concept of global warming through discussion and the class activity that we have planned for you. So if you go out and you yourself witness, sometimes you might have witnessed that there is so much of hot and humidity outside. Still there is rain. Sometimes it happens that it is so cool outside, still the sun shines and we are getting hot waves. So all these are going on, changing in particular only one day I'm talking about. So the increase in temperature due to the reasons, for example the pollutions, etc., that's causing the temperatures to exceed the normal range is known as global warming. So how has the temperature of the world increased in the last 140 years? Here we have a graph of global mean temperature from 1880 to 2011, in which you can clearly see how the temperature has increased. As shown in the graph, the global mean temperature of the world in the last 140 years has risen. This states the global warming condition. This is due to the greenhouse effect. Now, why you will must be knowing that the global warming is taking place. So, the global warming is taking place due to the high temperatures which are caused by the greenhouse effect. Now, what is the greenhouse effect that we are talking about? So, you must have heard about the greenhouse farming, haven't you? If not, then let me just give you a glance of how the greenhouse farming takes place. It's actually a place where there is no sunlight or very little sunlight that is actually available throughout the year, in which we use the greenhouse farming. The house over here is prepared with the help of the glass material. And why is it used with the glass? Because the glass actually have a property of absorbing and keeping the sunlight inside. So here we use the glass, this quality of the glass in preparing the greenhouse farming. So we can see that the greenhouse farming traps the heat of the sun, making the inside warmer. In the same way, Earth traps the sun rays, harmful UV rays, as well as the polluted air which contains the greenhouse gases and makes it warmer and warmer day by day. So the way that the greenhouse farming functions in the same manner is the world facing the greenhouse gases and the pollutants and the harmful UV rays are being trapped by the sun rays in the same way, and here we can visualize the greenhouse effect. Now, what are the indicators of the warming world? how will you be able to understand the world is warming up? So here we can see, you can check out with the humidity, level of the humidity in the air, the temperature over oceans, air temperature near surfaces or troposphere, sea surface temperature, sea level, ocean heat content, species migrating poleward and upward, trees line shifting poleward and upward, and temperature over land. These are actually some of the indicators of increasing temperatures, and glaciers, decreasing snow cover, and decreasing spring coming earlier, and sea ice as well as ice sheets. These black dotted lines, these black dotted areas of glaciers, snow covers, and all, that are actually indicates in this function, in this phenomenon, that how the temperatures are increasing and the glaciers and snow covers are decreasing rapidly, which indicates the warming of the world. Now, what changes are seen in the world around? So, due to these high temperatures, we can see snow and ice which is melting, that is affecting the rise of the water level of the water bodies level of the oceans and the rivers. There are more droughts and wildfires. There are thawing permafrosts. There are higher temperatures and more heat waves. There are strong storms, and snow patterns are changing rapidly in the world. What is the environment changing, and how is it changing? So, as we have seen, the environment is actually changing because of the human activities which causes changes in the temperature of the world. What are these human activities? The first will be, first of all, the burning of the fossil fuels. What are the fossil fuels? The fossil fuels are coal, petrol, and diesel that are collected from the Earth's surface or Earth's undercrust. Here we can see that the coal itself is stating that burn me and I will burn the earth. The burning of the fossil fuels like coal, petrol, and diesel causes the environment to heat itself. Because it is a non-renewable resource, in which we can understand that the coal or petrol or diesel which is once burned will not be reunited, reconstructed. Hence, it helps the environment to take up the temperatures heavily. Again, we can see the using of the electrical appliances such as the air conditioners, air coolers, microwave, refrigerator, etc. As we have seen that in each and every house we need a microwave, we need a refrigerator, we need air coolers, air conditioners, and all these appliances that we are using actually are causing the greenhouse effects and the temperature rise. Again, using the vehicles such as car, aircraft, truck, auto rickshaws, bus, etc. also claims to increase the Earth's temperature. And why does all these things add up to the heat of the temperature? Because these vehicles actually emits out the greenhouse gases. Again, cutting down of trees, that is deforestation, industrialization, building of factories and industries, population which is crowding day by day, pollution of water, air, and land that is going on and on day by day, dumping of wastes on land and in water bodies that we have actually seen today, that how they are affecting our water bodies, and production of nuclear weapons for wars, as wars are gradually increasing and increasing day by day. So, use of internet and technology, again, these are all the harmful effects for the environment. How does these activities affect the environment? Let's see. So, as I said, that smoke coming out of the vehicles and factories, cutting of the trees, which increases the carbon dioxide, all these actually activities help the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is actually increased by the use of the greenhouse gases. For example, the carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, sulfur PFCs or plo- perfluorochlorocarbons, hydrofluorocarbons, HFCs. All these gases are emitted through the activities such as cutting down of the trees, such as smoke coming out of the vehicles and factories. Water pollution leads to death of aquatic life. Overpopulation leads to crowded life cities. Use of internet leads to health problems, and animal and plant life is also getting affected. These activities heat up the earth's temperature. Now what happens when the earth heats up? That is the most important point. The ice sheet in the polar regions started melting, leading to the rise in the sea level. So, as we can see, what is the actual thing that is happening in the earth? There will be no ice in the Arctic regions if the temperatures keep on increasing, because increased temperature leads to the melting of the ice. By 2040, the Arctic region is predicted to have a completely ice free summer. So, if you understand from this quote what kind of temperature increase is seen in the world, that will actually give you a hike and a stop and a wait to understand the temperature, to understand the environmental problems that we are right now facing in the earth. What happens when the earth heats up? Again, we have the answer that the aquatic as well as the terrestrial habitat will be damaged. Sea level increases, leading to decrease in coastal land. Again, if the sea level is increasing, then the coastal areas will gradually be decreasing, right? Because we are, the earth is not expanding, the earth is actually sitting as it is, and the problems are getting up between the water level and the land level. What are the effects of global warming? So we can see the increased sea level, changes in water supply, rising temperature, and damage of habitats, damages that are caused to the habitats. Now, if we will not think for the future, what will be about the future? So the main problem will be that there will be no future. How? Let's have a look at the reality. In 1906, the place which we can see on the left side is full of ice, and people are doing something with the, maybe looking around and having some scientifical problem solving and all those things that are going on in the picture. But the same picture, the same way, the same place, if you see on 2020 2004 era, we see that that same place has changed up. The ice that was covered has melted and caused the sea level to rise up to the level that we can actually visualize. Why do we need to save the world? So, if we want to save our nature, we have to save the world. If we want to save the birds, we have to save the world. If we want to save the animals, we have to save the world. And if we want to save the humans, we have to save the world. So, indirectly, we all need to save our environment to help save the earth for our future generations. What can be done to save our world? So here we have looked at all the problems and the effects that are caused to the world, but now we will be looking forward to how we can save our world, how to reduce global warming basically. So the first will be plant a tree. First problem solution, plant a tree, because cutting of the trees causing of the carbon dioxide to increase, so we will start growing more and more trees. Second answer will be recycle. Whatever waste that has been taken place, we will look at the things that can be recycled. We have a mark at each and everything that we buy. We can see a mark on it which shows it can be recycled. So recycling, that is, do not waste and just dump things around. Instead, just use them, reuse them, will help in the world in the saving of the world. Again, change a light bulb, use the off switch. Why? That is, it means that without any unnecessary uh, things, we need to save the electricity, we need to save the bulbs electricity, we need to switch off the bulbs, we need to save the water, use less hot water. Again, for bathing or any other purposes, we will try to use less and hot water also, so that we can help save the world. So let's just have a quick recap about what we studied today. The factors causing global warming. What are the factors? Natural causes, greenhouse effect, natural calamities, slow tilting of the earth's axis. What is the meaning of the word slow tilting of the earth's axis? So nowadays scientists have gradually understood that the earth is slightly tilted with the axis. Everyone knows that, but now the tilting effect is slowed down, because of which again the temperatures will be affected. Anthropogenic causes. What are these causes? The causes that are actually uh, you can say taken up by the people. For example, respiration, mining activities, rapid industrialization, and increased automobile use. These are actually the problems, the causes that are affecting. Now we can visualize this, and there will be a homework for you all, that you will be making a project about this. What will be the project? There will be 3 projects allotted to 3 groups of students. Each group will have 10 number of gifted, resource and average students, and the first group will make a working model of the windmill to produce the wind energy. So the first actual project that you will be handling, you can make for yourself, will be the wind energy. Now, how the wind energy is produced, how is the windmill actually helping, all that can be understood in the project. So this project will actually help you to create your own windmill. Then the second group will be asked to make a model of solar energy panel. What is the second model? The second model, here we can see how the solar energy is actually generated. If number of students try to connect to the energy and try to understand how the solar panel works, then this workshop will help them to create their own solar panels. The third group will be making the project on biomass pit, organic farming. This is again one of the most important thing of today's, because if we need to change the world, the environment of today, we need to go for global organic farming. Now, I have already prepared a questionnaire for you all. So please go through the questions and try to answer through the slides, through the methods that I have shown you, and through the data that has been shared by you. In this, you will be asked to prepare a questionnaire. You can also collect the answers from people and analyze the data, and report will be made by you. Each one of you can help save the world, and these questions will help you in creating a global understanding for the people. What will you do to save the world? Each second counts. Start doing something today to save the world. So these can be your pictures of the data collections, and you can use these to show and make people aware about it. So here you can see 2019, we can see the world, it's blue and green, but till 2050 we will be witnessing the world full of orange light. And here we can see in 2019 and 2020 and the rest of the years that are coming to, we don't know what is going to happen to the earth. So before going to be witnessed about the worst effect of the temperatures, we need to do something today. That's it for today. And I hope that you like the session. If you really like the video, please subscribe, like, and comment on the video. Thank you once again for joining the Learning Hub team, and we will surely get back to you soon. Bye bye. Thank you and take care.